Hi, so welcome to my first Facebook Live. I hope you all are joining. If you think that the link is misplaced, please go to Pune Parents Group and search for live. I'm sure you will find it. So while people are joining, I would want everybody to give me a thumbs up and to let me know that you can hear me and see me clearly. Thumbs up, please. Yes, thank you, thank you. Good, great. So while people are joining, if you want, you could write down what are the questions with respect to what factors you think, in your opinion, make sense to you when you are selecting the schools. The format of this live will be that I will be talking for some time, and then at the end, I will try to probably maybe 30 minutes, I will try to answer the comments, and hopefully the session should be for an hour only. In case we have any topic which needs a lot of elaboration, probably looking at the kind of live that I'm doing and the success of it and the response from all of you, I will probably do it one more time on those topics which we will elaborate. So I'm so great that I can see a lot of people joining. Cool. Give me a thumbs up. The more you like, the more it reaches other parents, and the more other parents like it, it encourages me that yes, such kind of live videos are better than having consultations where you will be paying, of course. But I'm hoping that with this live video, a lot of doubts which you may be having should get cleared. All right, great. So before I start, I will let you into a very small short story on how I started the whole game of so-called consulting. I am basically a software engineer, and I was working in Sydney, Australia, then came down to Mumbai, and then we wanted to start a family, and a lot of stuff happened. So after 6 years of infertility treatment, I finally got my son. So you can imagine when there is something which you get after a lot of trouble, how much value you put on. Not that anybody's child is less value if you don't go through infertility treatment, but the point that I'm going to tell you later, that will let you know why it was something that made me become a school education consultant, especially for the welfare of the parents. So my son, when he was, I think around 4 years old, he was found stranded outside one of the school's events venue, and he was all alone, 4-year-old, all alone near the petrol station, no school teacher, no maid, no moshi around him, and I had to go and pick him up. So when I picked him up, I was like, okay, maybe, there is somebody watching him. But when I looked here and there and I found nobody, I thought, let me find out and let them at least tell that, I'm picking my son and I'm leaving. So when I went there, I was shocked. I was shocked that there was nobody actually who was keeping an eye on my son. And that's when I realized that there's something seriously wrong and I need to at least tell the teacher. So when I told the teacher was quite concerned, and she was apologetic and everything is fine. But then after a week, I was told that, I was imagining things, nothing of that sort happened. I was furious. I was actually hurt more than furious. When you as a parent trust a school that they will take care of the child within their premises, for even if it is just for half an hour or 2 hours, you trust them that you are the parent now. But here I was told that I was creating stories, and I was like, oh my God, I need to tell the world that this is what has happened with me. So I went and wrote on a very popular blog, and within one night I got hundreds of comments. And that's the time, I realized probably nobody is addressing this issue where parents are facing problems with schools, management, admission, teachers, and so on. And secondly, I also realized that I think I could connect with parents, even though, my English is not that good and my words are quite meager. But I thought, when you connect with people heart to heart, you don't need good words, bad words, or you just need to start talking, and that's what I am doing right now also. So when I came to know that there are hundreds of people commenting and concerned, and then I started getting calls, I knew that I need to start addressing this more and more seriously in a structured way. So anyways, I pulled my son from that school, and then I started to visit nearby schools, and I found good, bad, ugly about all the schools, and I would start write on my blog. And that's when I realized that not me, there were like people from all across India who wanted to know, how is this school, how is that school, what is the importance of a particular board, what is the importance of a particular infrastructure, and so on. So initially it was just preschools. So once I was through with my sons in preschools, I was lucky that my sons got into top schools of Pune in their preschool and one in little senior KG. And I was, oh my God. So I obviously, you will blog about it, something nice has happened with you. So when I blogged about it, I was again shocked, because I started getting messages and comments on my blog that what are the criteria, what did you answer, what questions were asked. So I said, okay, great, so this is going good. And so I still remember there was a parent from John Deere Magarpatta who called me, and he said, we have an admission interview soon, within a week's time, and do you think you can help us with the questions? I said, oh really? And he said, okay, I will pay you. I said, all right, come along. And so he was the first person. He got through the school he wanted also. He was very happy, and he started recommending my name to all his colleagues and people in Magarpatta also. So that's how the consultant in me was born. So now what happened was I started going to other schools. So once my children's schools were done, then I started visiting other schools. So I will let you know how you should also review the schools. It's a little tough, but if you have time, do it. Because, as I'm going to be talking about schools with my perspective. But as a parent, you have to, it is your duty to go to the schools and check out whether what I'm saying, it makes sense to you, whether the vibes that you're getting from the school and the entire teachers and the infrastructure, etc., makes sense to you. Because my vibes may not be really, matching with yours. So how would you start? Right now, I'm not going to be telling you about what is the top priorities, because it's different for different people. That's all I keep repeating all the time. What is good for me may not be good for you. You could actually go for something better, so there are many factors. I'm going to be talking about few of them, and I'm hoping that in the comments, when I ask you to write the comments, you will also mention those criteria which are important to you, and keep on giving me thumbs up and those hearts. I have never done the Facebook Live, so I'm hoping that this is going to be something wonderful for me also as a future consultant. Now, so first thing that I actually normally do, I'm going to walk you through the process, and then we will discuss. So when I started, what I did was I used to walk with my sons and enter into the schools in the pretext that I need admission. So everybody, will say, okay, please come along. And they would, explain the entire admission process. Then at that time, it was much easier to meet the principals and teachers and talk to them. So that was stage one. Stage two is, now in case, you are not able to walk into the schools, what you should do. That's what I did. I used to stand outside all the schools that you read about the reviews on my blog, madhurisingh.com, is by this process of standing outside the gate at least 2 times. Okay, it could be either early in the morning when the children are being dropped by their parents. I would go there, stand next to the group of moms near the gate, and I would listen to all the conversation they will be having. Most of the time, parents are always talking about something, not so happy that is happening within the school. It's always like that. You don't go and write reviews when you're happy. You write reviews only when you're upset. That's how I also started. So one, during when the children are being dropped by their parents, you can stand and listen to them, you can chat with them, but let me tell you, no parent is going to tell you the truth at that time. Once you take the admission, everybody will come and become your friend and will start sharing more and more issues or more and more features of the schools, which they will not do before you have taken the admission. Because it's not like a restaurant. In restaurant, now you can go eat food, don't like it, you can comment, and then everybody else says, oh, don't go there, because it's a one-time thing, right? You don't need to be there at the restaurant next time if you don't like the food. But with the school, once your child is there for next 10 to 12 years, you have to be there, unless you're like me, who has changed so many schools. I must have changed around 8 schools within Pune with 2 sons. So that's something you should be, should I say that that's my learning which I'm sharing with you, and I don't want you to change the schools. Select the schools properly and stick to that school, because it has its own benefit, which maybe I will talk one day. Okay, now coming back to what are the, now once I am at the gate, I listen to them. Then next time again I go when the children are being dropped or parents are there to pick the children. That time, the benefit is that you can see the children, you can see the teachers coming out, you can actually speak to them, and many of the teachers are, wonderful. They will share, the parents also share sometimes the genuine problems that they are facing. And this is a very good opportunity for you. If you know there is a teacher, ask couple of questions, ask couple of questions to even the children, the older children, so in class 5, 6, 7, 8, about certain topics which at least you should be clear of those comments, the concepts. And if they clearly explain those concepts in simple term to you, that means this is a good enough school for you, at least as far as the curriculum and teaching is concerned. Okay, so let's start. I hope a lot of you have joined. Thank you for joining and watching. And if you can share the link with your people around in other groups, it will be great, maybe now or maybe later also. All right, so let's start with the first point which I have written is, in this COVID, after COVID actually, when the schools were starting to open, I was quite scared. I'm sharing this because a lot of people think COVID is nothing, but let me tell you, we have lost a family member, my 17-year-old niece, and I do not want anybody to go through this pain. So please take care of your children. If you're getting the gut feeling that I don't want to send my child to school, perfectly fine, okay? Because if you have a living child, it's much better, okay? Now, so the first point I want to tell you is safety. If your child is not safe in the school, what's the point, right? So how do you find out whether the school is safe or not? You need to go and visit the school. Find out if the school premises, the location is not right on the main road, or there is a heavy traffic going on. Because if there is heavy traffic and children, if sometimes they run on the roads, you don't want that, right? So either it should be kind of a lane after there is a main road, and then the school entrance is opening into a smaller lane where the traffic is not there. That's a good way to say, okay, the school also understands the safety, right? Once you're inside, then you keep your eyes open. You have to make sure that your parental vibes and antennas, they are always up when you are visiting the school before admission, not after admission, okay? So first thing, remember, when you enter the gate, find out you have a good set of watchmen and people who are at the safety, the guards, etc. there or not. If there is a school and there are no watchmen, no guards, imagine what will happen. Somebody can walk in, somebody can take your children out. So try not to try to actually find out who are the watchmen. What is the process? How do they allow you? Do they have an app where they take your photograph? Or nowadays there are a lot of apps which actually screen when parents are walking in and out. That's a very important app that school should have invested in if they are really concerned about your children. Once you are inside, then you should walk through the premises slowly and check out the entire area. What are the places where you have open area where it can be accessed? Sometimes there are those boundary walls which are very short. Do you think people can walk in, or can come inside from outside? Or if the boundary walls are great or good enough, just walk through, and then you should notice where are all these CCTV cameras located. CCTV cameras are very important. A, it actually prevents a lot of people from doing something wrong, and B, if by God forbid something does happen, you know how to and where to look at. So those CCTV cameras must be there from the entrance up to the corridor and everywhere where children are supposed to be moving around. While you may be suppose waiting, try to find out what is the sports area and find out if there is an open swimming pool, because swimming pools are very, very dangerous place if it does not have a boundary or a gate or some kind of safety around it. Because I'll tell you some incident. It so happened that one of my friends, she is a principal of a school, and not in Pune. She is from North India, and she was supposed to go and certify a new upcoming school. So that's how CBSE also, and I think all the other boards work. So when she went there, she saw that the swimming pool was very, very unsafe, and children could actually fall into. There was no boundary around it. So she said, I'm not going to give you an approval till you build something around it. It was a very rich party, I believe, and since she refused and came back, but within a year's time that school did get approval, and then again she visited back to see they had actually put up boundaries. So that's very important as a reviewer also and as a parent also, to go and check out whether the school swimming pool and these areas which are dangerous has good enough security and boundaries around it. Okay, so what do you think could be after safety? All these safety features are done. What do you think could be the another important thing? See, these 2 points which I'm going to mention now, the safety and the second one, I'm sorry to say nobody asked me. And actually this is the first 2 things which people should ask me, how it is in the either preschool or schools. Okay, so the second point is the hygiene factor. I will tell you, there are so many schools where the hygiene is so pathetic that a small child definitely will at least once in a have some kind of disease, which you can avoid by checking out the bathrooms. Always, 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 when you are visiting, even if you don't want to, please go and check out the bathrooms and washrooms. And see, sometimes the parent and visitors bathrooms are quite clean and up to the mark, but the floors where the children classrooms are there, and their bathrooms are absolutely filthy at times. So what you should do is you must go and visit those toilets and bathrooms and check for. Now how do you know whether this has been a surprise item for you or for the school? So you should first find that the school, the bathrooms don't have those soap bars. Okay, they are very unhygienic. So there should be a liquid pump, and it should be not looking very, very fresh and new. Okay, it's not that because the parents are going to start coming from today, let's buy and keep it, and then the moment they go away, we'll also take this away. Don't do that. All right, give me a thumbs up if you like this point, and also those lovely hearts in case you think it's making sense to you. All right, so how do you make sure that you talk to the ayahs, moshis, speak to them? They're lovely people. just tell them, we want to use the bathroom. They will also guide you where, what, and you will know whether they have toilet papers or not, whether the bathrooms are cleaned all the time. And then one very important thing which I'm going to tell you, there are many schools where small kindergarten children, especially the girls, have to use the toilet on the floor. Yes, you heard that right, floor. And then you imagine the kind of diseases they will be coming back with, right? So try, if you see such schools, beware. You need to beware. I cannot say just go and change the whole thing, but take care of it. All right. So safety is done, hygiene is done. What do you think could be the next important question, or rather the factor based on which you should be selecting the school? I'll let you know. So, like I keep saying, what is good for you is not good for me, what is good for me is not good for you. There is a good school for all of you. It need not be the best school, so-called best school that you find on the list of various websites. Never. I never search anything what is the best XYZ. I always look for what suits me. So what suits me, only you can tell, right? So when I take the consultation, I send my parents a set of questions, and they have to answer those questions, and based on which I have a slight profiling done, right? Like what could be their family background, educational background, what is their annual income. These are very important factors, and many times parents ask me, why are you asking me this question? What is my income, my educational qualification got to do with my child's admission? But it does, because it makes, it's an important factor, whether you can afford. If suppose I say there is a best school, its fees is say 10 lakh per year, do you think it makes sense to a parent who is earning say 10 lakh or 20 lakh per year? No. So you first match it with what is your, say, a scope, okay, and then find out and schools within that locations, within that scope. So one, try to understand that what is good for you is not good for your neighbor, and what is good for your neighbor is not good for you. Same for older relatives. So many, see, Pune had maybe 2 or 3 schools way back when I think 150-year-old, there are a couple of schools, 100-year-old schools, 75-year-old schools. Now obviously these are the schools where all the, I would rather say 75 to 90% of the parents have studied, sent their children, and now sending their grandchildren, right? So if you ask them, they will have only one school in their mind, right? So try not to ask randomly any people. You should go online and check. You should visit the schools, like I said, and you should ask concerned people who have some knowledge about it. It could be on the Pune Parents Group. You can come and ask. You can ask me. You can ask many other consultants around also. Now coming back to what are the factors? So fee is important. Find out what is the school fee. Make a list of all the schools, okay, and then find out whether annually you can pay that fee or not. Okay, so most of the schools, they will ask you either the one parent is earning or 2 parents are earning like double income or not. It makes sense because, if you are in a job where, suppose IT, and you are suddenly laid off, then at least the other parent is able to pay the fee. So that's why, they may ask you questions, how many people are working, what is your joint income, what is your combined family income, and so don't think that they're trying to understand what is your income and sources and all that. They just want to know that your child will be, the fee will be paid for. All right, so when you are looking at the school fee, don't just see the fee. Important point to know, fee is one of the things. There are many other expenses that you will have to bear. Transport, books, uniform. I don't know why the uniforms cost so much, but uniform, and there are certain schools pet shops from where you have to buy. So, and it usually crosses 5,000 plus. then books another 15, sometimes for 20,000. So you don't know where all these expenses will come, and you will have to count them right now. Then there is all these extracurricular activities, so there could be trips and excursions and activities and fee for other things. All those things usually they should take in that annual first term fee, but also there are schools which will charge you in between also. So you will have to say take 10% of the total fee as the extra, right? Then you will have food. Sometimes their schools have canteen, you will have to account for that also. So all these things becomes part of the fee. And if you have 2 children, please make sure you are accounting for both of them. Tomorrow you may plan also a third child or second child, okay, not third child, second child. Then at least you should know that I have sent my first child in a school where the second one also can go and continue the study, because obviously you want both the children to be going into the same school, right? Alright, so this is about the fee. Now a very important, though I don't consider it's to be very, very important for younger children, but definitely important for children from say 8th standard above. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 must consider board, okay, which education board. But children who are like younger, they could actually need not, they need not really bother about the board of the school. So it is very important for what is the school management than board. If the school is managed well and it is close to your house, you can skip the importance of board at least till grade 4 to 5. Alright. So coming to board, what are the different boards that you have? Well, I'm sure you have CBSE board, you have ICSE board, you have National Open School, that is NIOS, you have state board, which is only for that particular state where you are living, and you have 2 international boards also, the IB and the IGCSE, right? A lot of parents, they are tempted by probably looking at the various news and marketing gimmicks of the schools and many other people, that okay, let me send my child to IB board, let me send my child to IGCSE board. Well, the decision is totally yours if you can afford, because IB and IGCSE scores boards are very, very expensive in comparison to ICSE, state board and CBSE board. But more important than fee here would be the fact that ICSE and CBSE board are national board, and they will cater to make your child go through the process of competition, the curriculum, the whole the methodology, where the Indian children, obviously your child is growing in India, and if you don't plan to move up and down between India and another country, you stick to CBSE and ICSE board, or even state board. No harm in that if you don't want to move to another state. But usually it makes sense to put your child in a national board, so that in case you get transferred, you can at least have a good number of schools to choose from a particular board. So CBSE would be a good choice, ICSE next, and state board third. IB and IGCSE is totally dependent on other factors which I will not be discussing. Maybe board is a very, very broad subject and it needs a video of its own. So once I will look at the how much views and how many people like to watch, I will probably come alive. I am alive, but I will come live again and mention about the boards probably after 2 or 3 sessions. So we have now done the safety, hygiene, fees and boards. The next important point, my favorite, most neglected by everybody, nobody wants to know, but it is the teachers. I was so upset, this couple of days back I had met a principal, and she was explaining that how many schools have cut down the salaries of their teachers to 1/4. And some teachers are earning as low as 6,000 rupees. Imagine maids are earning more, cooks are earning more and they can go to various houses and then earn probably 30 to 40, 50,000, and there are teachers earning just 6,000 rupees, not just the whole time that they dedicate, they have to prepare for the next days, and then they have to get a lot of books, probably spend money on laptop, internet and so on, and this is what they get paid. So I think, as parents also, it is our duty to help the teachers. I will probably again, it needs another dedicated video where I'm going to reach out to all the teachers and tell them, don't be scared, I'm there with you. We will form some kind of I will not call it association, because association has become very negative term, but maybe a group where we will try to help each other, because unless teachers are happy, unless teachers are satisfied, unless she has, imagine a teacher is coming in the class and she's thinking, what will happen to the fee of my child, whether I can pay the electricity bill or not, and all, these are not the questions which teachers should be thinking about, but they are thinking. And if they are thinking about those problems in the class, how will they concentrate, how will they think about your child's welfare? So if you think teachers need support, give a thumbs up please. We will definitely work on it. Parents and teachers will work, and schools will listen to us. I'm sure schools must be thinking, what is she doing? Anyways, so how do you find out, if a school has a good set of teachers or not? One, what I do, I'll let you know. So what I do is I go and Google what schools are giving advertisements of teachers. Okay, that's how you know how frequently they are advertising. That if they are needing more and more teachers, that means they are losing more and more teachers to another school, or they are quitting for whatever reasons. That's one way. Second could be when you meet, there will be teachers in your society, with your friends. You can ask them, what is the condition, how are they happy, do you recommend me to join as a teacher in your school? You will know exactly what are the feedback. And so this is about the happiness of the teachers, right? But then the knowledge factor, ultimately why a teacher is important, because that particular lady or person is going to teach your son and daughter. So if you want to know, you can ask a couple of questions, what is the source of the information that she gathers other than whatever the school has given. You could in fact find out some topics you can just discuss randomly, like if you can explain to me, what is the meaning of this, say, Archimedes principle. And once you know the clarity of that teacher, of course this cannot be, this question is only for the science teachers. If you think that teacher has clarity, and then you can judge from that about the teacher's quality, not necessarily for all the teachers in the school, right? So you can't generalize that one teacher is good so every teacher in the school is good, or one teacher is not so good so every teacher will not be good. So important factor is to keep on, you will have to do this reviewing process on your own. Otherwise you have to book a consultation with me, and then probably I will let you know how much ever I know, because many people, many parents, many teachers, they write to me. There was a time when I would go and immediately, the moment I would come to know of some news about some teacher, school, parent, I would go and blog. And then it was my perspective, right? I am as a software engineer, as a parent of particular level, I am writing looking at the school as whatever, right, wherever it is. But I realized after a couple of years that I think I'm being very, very unfair to all the schools, all the teachers, all the children who are going in the school, and they don't have now the any means to change the school if they think it is not good. And then I thought, if these children, they will probably start feeling bad that my parents can't put me into a better school. So I stopped writing. Now I don't label any school good, bad, ugly. But when you come to me, I will definitely have to be open and tell you what is the fact. I tell only facts. I don't give you a judgment whether it is good or bad. You can decide on your own. That's very important. You know the fact, and then let's say a school charges very high fee. You know about it. I have told you. So if you take the decision and take an admission in that school, you better not complain about the fee hike in that school after that, because you are aware of it. So that's how aware parents should take admission. Do not complain of things which you are already aware of and then you took the admission. Don't think you're going to change that. Okay. So that's about the teachers. Another important thing to remember is that you can support the teachers. I remember when one of my son was going to a particular new school, the teachers did not have set structured curriculum. And obviously I could not let my son not study structured way, so I used to actually find out everything. There was a website from there, the entire curriculum I had downloaded and helped the teacher. But I think nowadays most of the teachers are good and they don't need support from external parents. But nonetheless, if you think you can support, the support should be probably not talking bad about them in front of your children. Very, very important. And also not raising your voice when you are meeting them in the parent teacher meeting, and that actually is a very rude and very wrong way of handling teachers. Whatever could be the flaw, they are your teacher, children's teacher. Okay, so they deserve all the respect that as a guru they could. So if you give them the respect, the teachers give you respect, the children will give you respect, and to them also. So try to make sure that you are not disrespecting, not calling names of these teachers in front of your children. Even then also, you need to solve the problem, don't create the problem. All right. Then comes, after teachers, very important factor is curriculum. So when I say curriculum, it means what are the ways in which the subjects, the scope of each subject for each class, right? What activities they will be doing, though it is usually part of extracurricular activities, but within that curriculum, what are the things that the teachers will be teaching. And it's very important to understand that there are very, very good schools which very structured, layered curriculum, which means that once the child starts from say grade 1, every year there is a build up on that curriculum. So if you change the school, you will miss it out. So try not to change frequently like me. But a very good way to understand curriculum obviously would be to check out what are the books. And how would you do that? No school is going to let you show them, but you can ask the neighbors and anybody whose child is going and check out the books, because that's how you will know what is the content that you will be dealing with in future. Okay. Most of the schools, if it is a franchisee school, they will have a very set curriculum, so you should not bother much. If it is a school owned corporate like school, management where they themselves run all the schools across the country, then also you don't need to bother, because again curriculum is set. When should you bother? Probably if there is a school which has just started and they don't have past experience of running any older school, or they have zero experience, right? Then they will take time. But nowadays, there are curriculum designers who charge huge. But you can actually ask these new schools who has designed your curriculum. Sometimes they take the franchisees, or franchisees give you the whole curriculum also. So if that is the thing, great. No, okay. Am I there? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can continue watching me? Can you give me a thumbs up? Are you there? Okay, I think I have. Hello, am I alive? If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. All right, cool. So where was I? Yeah, coming back to curriculum. So in case you think it's a new school, do talk to the principal, do talk to the management, and they will actually show you the curriculum, because when the schools are new, they will really help you out. So you must find out what are the books that they are using. So basically the curriculum can change school to school, because that's the freedom the schools get up to grade 7. And from 8th standard onwards, 8, 9, 10, 12, they, every school follows whatever has been prescribed by the board, because they want their children now to start preparing as per the board. So try to make sure that you also know what are that those, whatever the board prescribed books are there, those are something very, very obvious. You can Google and find out what publications and what books are there. So that there is no issue. All right. Next important thing which you should check it out, and I think it's quite obvious, will be the infrastructure. But before infrastructure, very important is extracurricular activities. See, a lot of parents, when they come to me, I want my child to be an all-rounder. Come on, you can't have an all-rounder. All-rounders are not good anymore. You need children who are good in one thing and average in other areas. So academics and good in other areas, or sports and good in other areas. You can't have, so it's like jack of all trade. You don't want your child to be jack of all trade, right? There should be, you now need to change your whole motto and make master of one. Children should be master of one thing, not jack of all trades. And that all-rounder thing you should stop thinking about. Okay, what you should what should make sense to you is that the school should have a good playground. So obviously if there is a playground, they will have set of outdoor activities like football, basketball, all kinds of track and field sports. Those very important. Many schools don't have even a playground. They have just floor after floor schools. Please, if your child is small, that child will need a playground to play, because you will be sending him or her for many years, right? If it's if you're there for 1 year or 2 years, maybe you can compromise on that factor, but not when you are going to be sending your child for many years in that particular school. So let that let that school be or rather you should go and check it out whether they have a very good it need not be huge Olympic size anything, right? It can be a small playground, but there should be a playground always. There could be swimming pool is not necessary. If it is good, if it is there, good, not necessary, okay? But a playground is necessary. So if you have seen any school and there is no playground, you might want to change your decision right now, because unless if your child is suppose in 8, 9, 10 and you want to the child wants to focus on academics, then probably not having a playground makes sense, but not otherwise. All right. So after how do you check out what are the infrastructure? Obviously you will have to visit. Most of the time you don't need to visit also, because you will open the website of the school and you will see their wonderful pictures of all the playground and bathroom and laboratories and classrooms. Everything is there. So infrastructure wise, usually schools are really good nowadays, and that's what they are charging you for. But extracurricular activities, I'm going to tell you something very strange. I had visited a school, and I'm telling you, it was like a menu of those local, local restaurants where you have Chinese, Mughlai, Thai, continental, you have South Indian, North Indian. How can anybody be good at all these things? It is impossible. So I never go to a restaurant which gives me a list of various cuisines, all of them. Right? You have to be, if a school is really genuinely trying to teach your children to be good at some sports, it can't do more than 4 or 5 activities. Impossible, because you need good trainers, good coaches, and those coaches don't come cheap. So if you have good, so at India level, so state players or India player, if those are the people you are hiring, then you can't hire more. So you need to, so obviously if a school is saying I have every sports in the, whatever you can dream of, then there is something not right with that school. Okay, so you should check out that the schools have obviously football, basketball, the team, team games are something that schools usually have. Having badminton, table tennis is not something that I expect from a school, because there only 2 children will be engaged, right? So you should have a good area for basketball, football, swimming pool also, skating, then gymnastics. These are good things. Beyond that, if you have like archery or things where shooting, all those things I will not be really excited about, because that's something you need one-to-one coaching, and I don't think so in a group you can be taught all these focused sports, right? So this is about extracurricular activity with respect to outdoor. Then comes indoor. So indoor you will have skating, and you will have judo, karate, and one of the martial arts. I think every school now has, and it should have. It's a very, very good thing to have, and it should be made compulsory actually, that every child, whether they like it or not, have to undergo one martial art form in their school. And they should continue. Don't keep changing that today you have jujutsu, tomorrow you will have judo, and then you just make sure that your school is known for judo, your school is known for taekwondo, and start giving them those belts year after year and have competition. Focus. That is for the schools. So you also should know, okay, if I want my child, and my child is say good in say karate, I know which is the school where I want to send my child, because my child is at that national level, right? But just by looking at the website and you say, oh, there is karate, let me send my child, trust me, you may not actually find any karate teacher coming after some couple of months, or may never have been. It's just for the sake of. So music and dance, very, very important. Every school has it. And also again here, not too many. You should have some basic classical things, or even if it is avoid Bollywood nowadays. I'm sure every parent wants to avoid Bollywood songs. So have classical, either Carnatic or North Indian classical dances. If those are the things which the school has, wonderful. Because having too many useless things doesn't make sense for you. It only confuses the parents, and they think, my school, the school is providing so many things. No, they're only confusing themselves and you. Okay, so try avoiding these schools where you have like more than 5 or 6 activities planned or mentioned. It's not something that you will be getting any value out of it, because anyways they are going to be teaching in a group of 35-45 children. And that time period is say 30 minutes or 35 minutes. By the time the children come out of the class, then they are removing their or wearing shoes, etc. They get probably not more than 20 minutes for an activity, and within that also there are 30-40 children. So what kind of focus you expect? Nothing. So you will know, like in this school my child can go through, like it will like an say experiment for you. Okay, he likes XYZ sports, so doesn't like this, likes this, doesn't like this. And then once you are sure that my child is good at a particular activity, go and put your child in after school activity with a proper coach. Trust me, that is how it should be. Like I'll tell you about my son. So he was very good with the physicals, and second one good in football. So after understanding that my elder one has become, now he's just won district level powerlifting award. Powerlifting championship was conducted by Maharashtra state, and he won that. Now my second one is good in football, but because of COVID he's been, poor thing, stuck. So try to find out those activities also, where you can have good coaches around in your city. Okay, don't force your child, but unless you force, nowadays nothing happens. So you have to many parents they come and tell me, I don't want to force my child in doing whatever he or she wants to become. I will let. Yes, good, very good, but let me tell you, if you don't force, your child will not do anything in the life. You have to be a parent. That child is not your parent. After 10-15 years, that child will come back and say, you were the parent, you were supposed to scold me and tell me that this is good for my life, why did you not let me do, right? So be the parent. Don't become the friend which the American system and UK and other European system are teaching you. That is not the right way. You are the parent. Take the decision which is good for the child. If you want to whack at times also, because that is how a parent should put the child on the right track. You don't want a child to have no skills, nothing in the, no vocabulary, no language skill, no logical thinking. And that only happens if you put that child into practice every day, and you have to sit. Like we have many parents in my group, Pura parent group, where they are sitting with their children, doing handwriting. I think Seema is there. Seema does wonderful job. You should watch her videos also on the post, how she has transformed her child's handwriting. That is how you need to work on the children. They may cry, they may do whatever, but if there is a particular time frame that in which you will sit every day, make sure the child has no choice but to do that activity with you or with whoever the coach is. Okay, don't be lenient when there is something where the child is learning, but learning is not for today. Happiness not for today. Don't look at happiness for today. Happiness should be for future, once you're not there. Remember, long term. That's what I think. Though the children will not like you, they will like your husband or the other spouse who's very lenient. But if you want your child's life to be good, you can become even the the villain of the family, but you better do what is right as a parent. Alright, so now we have discussed about extracurricular activities, infrastructure, safety, hygiene, teachers, board, curriculum. What else is left? Anything that you think I am missing? Let me see if I have written something here. Well, I think I have covered everything except for one very, 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 very important thing, which is the first thing I want to know, from the parents who come to me for admission consultation. What is the distance between the school and their house that they are comfortable with? Remember, so I used to send my children to schools which were like 15 kilometers away, and I thought, okay, I'll be okay, they are anyways going in the bus. But it's not really good idea that your child is spending, or rather wasting 2 hours every day of the entire year in the bus. They may sleep, but it's better that you have a school which is nearby. So 5 kilometer good radius for preschools, and I would say 10 to 12 kilometers good radius for children who are above 5, that is grade 5. But for grade 9, 10, 11, 12, closer the better. Okay, because they need to then start focusing more on some coaching also, or at least have the time to study for the exams. So if the school is far off, that can become a hindrance also. All right, so how do you now find out the distance? Obviously you just have to go and put your location, and then find out what are the good schools near my house, near me. That's how Google, you can Google them, and then make a list of all those schools. If you want consultation, that's how you should be good doing. Make a list of all the schools with the radius of 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers, and then find out schools, and then list them as CBSE, ICSE, State Board, IB, IGCSE. Okay, and then it makes sense to, even if you don't want my consultation, at least go on the Pune parents group, and you can ask them, this is the kind of list that I have, I live here, what are the good schools? Because obviously as a parent you're asking questions because you're not aware, but other parents who are going to give you also some information, they also need some input. So you can also say, my annual fee that I am comfortable is between this to this. That really helps others to give you focused information than a very generalized information, right? So this is about how you would go about selecting a school. Now, don't think you will get everything. Absolutely not. No school is perfect. You are not perfect. I am not perfect. Nobody's children are perfect. So let us not expect any perfection. Okay. So what do? Why did you think I kept on changing schools? Because I was expecting for that perfect school. What I did realize that after some point that I need to make a list. Priority number 1, 2, 3, and then if any school fit into these 3 things, I would ignore everything else. So then it's like those horses which have those blinders, and I would just keep here. I would not get distracted by anything else, even if it is free increase or children teachers moving around, or some bad news, good news. Nothing bothered me, because for me those 3 points were important. So find out what are those 3 criteria. Out of that, maybe if you get 1, you're lucky. Okay, it is not possible, because running a school is one of the toughest thing in India. Trust me, if you are a school owner or you become, your life is like so tough. You have to handle teachers, you have to handle the management, you have to handle your principals, you have to handle your staff, you have to handle parents who are now becoming more and more, they don't have patience, and you have to, obviously, the students and reviewers like me. So please give some slack to the school. You should actually go and talk to them if you have any problem, instead of writing on the blogs and reviews. Just go and speak to them. Most of the schools, they listen. Why do they think, why do you think they listen to me? Because I just speak to them. I tell them, this is the problem with XYZ parent, can you solve it? Most of them, I have never actually heard any teacher or any school principal say no to me when I approach them with some problem with the parents are having. I remember I have changed the bus stop. I remember I have solved one of the schools really major transportation problem they were having. One school was having a big issue with their lunch, some the catering system or something. So these are very these are something which can be solved. You don't need to create a problem that the school shuts down. Do not be part of those groups where they become like those dharna people. We will do the dharna, and school should roll back the fee. Why should they roll back the fee? Did you not know about the fee when you took the admission? Did you not? Why did you think that, okay, once I get the admission I will show my real color? No. So try not to be that kind of nasty parent. Parents should help the school management, principal, teachers, because after all, everybody you help is helping your child, and that's what our goal should be, right? So if you think this whole live session made some sense and I could elaborate on some of the other points, let me know in the comments. I'm going to now read the comments, so you will see me looking down. In case there is something that you want me to talk about in detail, I will have to do my own research and make the list and then do the live again. But right now I'm just going to read the whole comments. All right. Ratio. Okay, so somebody is asking what should be the ratio. So you see, with CBSE schools you don't have choice. They will have 35 in a class, and at times, because they have, let's say, 2 sections, each has 35 children, but in the admission time they took, say, 40. So what will they do is, once they have one more set of group children coming, so they will pull the 5 children from these 2 classrooms and make another batch. But it's little difficult if you don't have classrooms. So ideally 40-45 also is okay. So 35 to 45 for CBSE schools. ICC schools, they go sometimes 50-55. So that's something I've heard even 75 children in one class. So that's something little not expected of the schools. All right, have the lower it should not be too low also that your child has only one and it can only see 2 children. It should be, say, as less as, say, 20 and as high as 35-40, max 45 also. All right, there can be 2 teachers at times. Generally the teachers, schools, they promise that they will keep 2 teachers, one as the supplementary teacher and another main teacher. But many times, that's kind of many schools do it very genuinely, but many schools have started using it only for a couple of months, like 1 month when the children get adjusted, and after that the teacher gets another classroom of her own. So don't depend on that. That cannot be one of the factors to select a school. Okay, don't. Number of children in a class definitely is a factor, but having 2 teachers may not be true all the time. Thank you, Myra. All right. Okay, let me just now go. Okay, can you please type the questions, because all the comments have gone up, and if I start scrolling I may not be able to do the justice to the time. How do you book the consultation? Ping me, just send me a message on Messenger, please. You will get a link. All right. Okay. Do you think did I make sense? Was my life good? Do I need to continue making lives? If yes, please thumbs up. Why don't you give me that heart? I like hearts. Nobody is giving me hearts. Okay. Accessibility, yes. Very good point, Namita. Yes, accessibility of teachers, that comes as, one of the factors under management. Yes, remember, if your teacher, your principal is not accessible to you, right, and you will know, get the feel, when you are going for the admission itself, you will know. If very uptight teacher is there, or the whole management doesn't allow you to walk around and see the infrastructure, or they are making you wait for hours and hours and just trying to show that they are very important, and usually happens with the missionary kind of schools. But if you think it has to gel with your requirement. If you think, I'm okay, I want academics, I don't care for all these things, like in the 3 points, it's perfectly fine if you are okay with that. It totally depends on you. If you don't like it, you will not like in future also. Remember that. Don't go by the fact that I told you XYZ school is good. Just don't go there. You have to also do your own research and like it by that vibes that you give. That is very important. Okay. And thank you to Kavita Krishnamurthy for helping me out with the tips on live, because this is my first live and I had told her, please help me. Oh, by the way, I am going to tell you a very interesting thing. I have been selected by TED to give a talk. So I will definitely, once the event is over, I will definitely share the link if it is selected. Miti Joshi, I think, Sangeeta said very good point. NEP, I will make a video on national education policy because it's so beautiful, though it has many things that needs improvement. But national education policy is like somebody coming and, hugging all the teachers and children and parents, that yes, we are there, we will take care of you. Very beautiful system that they're coming up with. Oh, and by the way, my son has got through medical, but I will let you know more about it later. Okay, I think there are many comments, but I'm not able to. Tell me please about any other question, or should I say tata, bye bye? I'm so glad, I'm so thankful actually that all of you have joined on a Sunday. And I am thankful to my husband who woke up and he's prepared breakfast, and he's shut himself in a room with my dog Coco. I should not call dog because my husband gets very angry, but he's locked. Everybody's locked in their room and not disturbing me. So thank you, my husband and my children, for allowing me to record this live without any disturbance. All right, thank you. See you, bye. And in case you have any more comments, keep writing. If you want consultation, you can ping me on Messenger. If you want to join Pune Parents for further discussions on the live, I'm there. Okay, bye bye.